is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
No. Y'all, just stop. This is a sham. Welcome to DBL. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Lindsey Granger in the house.
Wait, who's this?
That's Lindsey Granger.
Hey, how's it going?
How you feeling, Linz?
I'm good. I can't complain. It's Wednesday, hump day.
Yeah. You know, I was just thinking, I swear to you, I was just thinking, it's so weird because I was like, remember that camel?
That was
I used
so
to
classic.
laugh every time.
Hopefully our audience remembers that.
Who doesn't remember the camel saying, hump day? Yo, Mike.
Mike. What day is it? What day is it?
I had this guy, Mike, at work. I used to say that to him every single Wednesday.
He probably hated you.
No, we laughed every single time. As long as it gets a laugh, it's good to go.
Shout out to Mike.
Tell a friend. All right. More footage is being released from the Rust movie set. This time, the video shows Alec Baldwin with investigators as they reveal Helena Hutchins died from her injuries. Let's take a look.
I do have some very unfortunate news to tell you. She didn't make it. Yeah. So Joel's still at the hospital, but the other person involved didn't make it.
So no one has been charged in Helena's death as the investigation continues, which brings us to the question, why release this video now, Tori? We talked about this yesterday. You asked this very same question. If a trial is going to happen in the future, why release all evidence, quote unquote, right now?
Right, like from what I understand, you can ask for it from Freedom of Information Act, but they can say no. There's a no to this, and there's a valid reason to say no due to the jury pool. Now I would think that if I'm Alec Baldwin's lawyer, I'm going to have to move the whole court case out of Santa Fe. I'm going to have to move it because it's just been prejudice, the jury pool.
But I think it's been prejudice for him.
For him, I would say.
I would say that.
I think that was a very human reaction. You didn't get that?
I think no one thinks in real life that Alec Baldwin did this intentionally. I don't think that people think that malice is. I certainly don't. So that was the reaction I expected. But getting these in-close personal things should be told in a narrative of a court case, not for the general public to hear, who then might go in and hear another court case. All of this to me seems really, really unnecessary.
So, Linz, what's your reaction to the video itself, Alec Baldwin's reaction?
I think that it makes you sympathize or empathize with what's going on. You know, he really seems like he's in shock. Initially, I was just angry because they said he dropped all the balls getting prepared for this production. And I know you like to say separate the actor from the actual production company owner, and I get that. But I also think with them releasing the video, it kind of would seem to me to be a little bit of favoritism if they didn't release the video, protecting a celebrity. And I don't know that any police department or anybody wants to look like that, because maybe they've released videos in the past, and maybe that's something that they do when they work with the press if it's requested.
Like that county or
at
whatever.
this magnitude too.
Right.
It's like national outlets had to be requesting this video. So, you know, I think that it would look kind of suspect if they didn't release the video.
Yeah, but I think it's in favor of Alec Baldwin to have the ones we saw yesterday. His reaction seemed very genuine, very shocked. Not like he was like, because I remember the first reports were like, he's kind of like blowing this off. That doesn't seem to be the case here.
No, and it's, you know, looking at that, this is a weird juxtaposition in my mind, but like, I was thinking about like, the reason I watched the tournament for college basketball is I feel like, and the reason we all kind of secretly do it is we like to see people having the best day of their life. Everybody says it's going to be their kid, and it is, you know, but when you make the tournament and you're jumping around with your friends, that's the best day of your life. You know, and juxtaposed to that is like looking at somebody have the worst moment of their life on camera and knowing that they're never going to be the same person they were walking in there. I don't feel like I should see that. I don't think anybody else should see that. I think that that's a moment between you and whoever you pray to. But I don't know what the benefit of us looking at that was, except for people to go, see, he's faking, Lindsey. Oh, or see, he's real, Jeff. We don't know. But whatever you thought going in, you're going to just reinforce that by what you just saw, and that's going to prejudice the jury. So I don't understand the release. I
understand what you mean about being favoritism towards him in that moment. But when he was doing like the rehearsal of the gun, like I just think his finger was on the trigger at the time and he said something else. I just think these videos aren't helpful to either. I think they should be kept in the court case.
Yeah, not to make light of this, but I always am hanging on every word Al says with his analogies, because I'm like, how are you going to swing NCAA basketball back to this case?
March
and he
Madness.
always does. He always does.
Wait for me, I'm coming around.
Al Jackson, he always delivers. All right, have you ever been afraid to leave your home? It's something Academy Award-winning actress Kim Basinger has felt. She talks about her debilitating battle with agoraphobia on today's Red Table Talk. Let's take a look.
I wouldn't leave the house. I would no longer go to dinner.
Yeah.
I had to relearn to drive.
Right.
And for many years, I would not go through the tunnels at Malibu.
Wow.
Everything used to make me nervous, like the glass going to open the door, or where do I step to open the door? Everything became a big job.
So if you don't know what agoraphobia is, it's a type of anxiety disorder. It's when you fear and avoid places or situations, much like Kim was just talking about, that might cause you to panic or make you feel trapped, helpless, or embarrassed.
I've had it, my sister's had it, and it's awful.
Right.
And you'd think someone like me who's really outgoing would never have it, but my fear of going into a supermarket is real, and I had to have exposure therapy to go back into it.
Can you tell us what that is?
I had a therapist come with me to the supermarket over and over again, so I would get used to it, because my fear was that I would knock something over. It's irrational, and everything in that aisle would spill. And I would cause this enormous embarrassment. It's not logical, but it's so debilitating. I didn't go and get groceries for years. And my sister had a hard time leaving a dorm room. Any type with a vestibule literally is difficult. This is a horrendous phobia, and it takes a lot of bravery to go through that space. It doesn't look like it should, but it does. It does.
And I think even not on that level, but just like after the pandemic and us all being inside, a lot of people had anxiety about doing normal things in crowds. I took the train casually in New York, comfortably. I probably will never get on the train if I don't have to in New York again, because I was never claustrophobic, and now I'm like, okay.
Yeah, pandemic changed a lot.
Right, so it's a different kind of feeling claustrophobic on a train, but just that feeling of getting back to some sense of normal when we were kind of on top of each other or doing things that felt normal. A lot of people's lives completely changed in the last 2.5 years. So.
Yeah. I just, first of all, Tori, I really appreciate it, and I love you for saying that. I know that's hard, and like, you know, as you were talking, I was thinking about how we just always have made fun of phobias. You know, remember like talk shows would be like, oh, you're scared of mice, and then they bring one out and they'd follow you around as you ran around. Like, that person's terrified. And I watch that too. I'm just as guilty. But it's so weird, like when you hear people talk about like, I couldn't leave the house and I couldn't drive. I know people that have trouble going over bridges, and it's kept them in certain places. So it's like, I'm glad that people are talking about this in a serious way. Like, phobias are real. And when you see somebody really have a real terror attack, it's not funny.
Yeah, I have a phobia of little plastic dolls, which brings me to my next story. Did you like that transition? I had nowhere to go. I didn't know how to get out of that.
I was like, all right, maybe you do.
No, I don't. Actually, I do. I actually do, though. Like dolls, like with no face, or like.
He doesn't like things.
I don't like things that have mono expression, right? So if they're just like.
Yeah, I could see.
Like a little kid, if they're just like in a room, I'm like, dude, somebody tranquilized or already tranquilized that kid. I don't know what. I'm out of there.
There's been too many scary movies where dolls that look like that are bad.
I'm tainted. I'm tainted. All right. So how about this? If Barbie were a real person, who would she look like? The answer is Margot Robbie. We're getting our first look at the actress who will star as the famous doll. Yeah. Okay, so who do you think Ken would be? I mean, this one's super obvious.
You.
Oh,
get real.
No.
Ryan Gosling will play Ken, but we haven't seen him in character yet. I think we could all imagine what he would look like. So Barbie is set to release next summer.
I seriously think you can be Ken.
Are you out of your mind?
I'm serious.
If Ken was a dad in the suburbs.
That's what Ken would be, about a dad in the suburbs now.
What else would Ken be?
Get the Barbie cruiser painted like just taupe, something
just put him in a station wagon and just have a little belly.
I thought Ken was so boring. I didn't get Ken. I was into Barbie.
Barbie wasn't, you know, doing cartwheels either. What do you want from Ken?
There was Office Barbie, Malibu Barbie,
I have news reporter Barbie at my house.
Oh, really?
It was a gift someone gave to me.
Well,
how come Ken isn't in these situations? Do you think that Ken was discriminated against?
Oh, please.
Ken was just nothing. I thought Ken was boring.
I think Ken just needed some destination.
I'm surprised Ken's not canceled.
What is the plot? Is this going to be humor? What is this?
Yeah, it's a bit of a comedy, I think.
What? Barbie didn't have a narrative. What is it about?
Growing up, like the Ken and Barbies were always naked when you were a kid, right?
Yeah. Did you guys rip off?
And I think it's time for Ken to pay.
Is this for adults or kids? Okay.
Oh, it is?
Oh, wow. That changes everything.
Did you guys ever rip off the heads of your Barbies?
No.
Nope.
Whoa.
You know that therapist that you went to the grocery store with? You might want to call her back.
Okay.
Now Barbie.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with Heidi Klum and what it's like pairing up with Snoop Dogg for a song and music video. And an influencer goes viral for uncovering the reality behind social media. We'll explain.
Closed captioning provided by.
This April, connect with Al, Tori, Erica, Jeff, and Sam.
What are we talking about?
Real conversations are on DBL. I love this story.
That's why you watch every show.
DBL, all new every day.
ripped off the heads of my Barbies.
It's PG-13?
Social media. So that influencer who you just saw, she does the posed photos where she looks really fit, and then she'll do a relaxed photo, which is what her actual body looks like. So we're going to talk about what do you guys do?
I just got that.
Do you try to pose? Do you try to look for
My kids watch everything. I'm like, okay. We're at home, like, dude, my kids probably shouldn't be watching this. We're like, they'll be fine. Yeah.
Hi, Jeff.
What's
We're
up?
talking about contorted body image on social media. So that influencer went viral for posing.
Oh, cool. Got it.
Super fit.
I watch the Barbie YouTube sometimes. It just like rolls into it after Color Crew on YouTube for Kinsley. And I thought it was very informational and nice and sweet for kids. The Barbie YouTube. They have a channel teaching kids stuff about like life and friendship. So this movie's kind of throwing me off for adults.
Well, it's for you.
Okay.
The moms that grew up with Barbie and to introduce Barbie to your daughter.
I don't want
if she was old.
Okay, let's say Kinsley was 10. I don't want her to watch an inappropriate comedy about
I think
Barbie.
it's gonna be inappropriate. And there's YouTube. They can see everything now. Like that's a good thing as a parent now. Like you don't gotta worry about. Like my daughter was playing songs that had curse words in. We were going to Fort Collins on Saturday. I was like, like, what are we pretending like she doesn't?
Kids are gonna repeat this.
No way. I plug their ears. Listen, as a parent, you're gonna do things that people in that world do at the same time, and they're like, "How dare you?" You know what I mean? So you just have to pick your battles. It's like, don't you watch some shows and you're like, they probably shouldn't be watching this. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like we're watching Severance, and like someone like dies, and they're on the couch, and like, should we shut her off? But then you're kind of into the show, and you're like, go watch something else.
Yeah, and then it's
my parents used to send me away, but it was like I already saw the thing.
Yeah, I know, it's pointless.
But they used to always send me away.
The send his way is like I'd be like, do you want Daddy's phone? Say it to 40.
Hey, what's on your phone? Go grab it. But you're right, they already saw it. All right, so we've all heard Instagram isn't real life. Spoiler alert. Well, a body acceptance influencer is shining some light on this subject by showing the power of posing. So through her posed versus unposed photo series, she shows her natural form and her controlled version. By doing this, she hopes to discourage others from comparing themselves to people online. The 25-year-old says it took time for her to be comfortable in her own body. She also said that sharing the photos helps her mentally and emotionally. We're all human. It's completely normal to have bad body image days, of course. I was just talking about my body in the suburbs. So what do you do when it comes to your own Instagram and social media, Linz? What do you do with that?
I'm definitely finding a good angle. I'm not gonna just take a flabby picture. I just don't want to.
Don't act like you don't know your ankle and your side. What's your side? What's your angle?
Definitely a higher angle, come from above, you know. But if you go too high, you're gonna make me look way too small and short. So, you gotta find a good angle. Colin's getting really good with it.
Let me ask you, I was just gonna ask you that because I've been yelled at for
Colin has accepted that his role in life is to take
But has he taken, in the past when you first started taking, just like, hey, we take a picture of me and my friends, and he just takes it and everyone's like, whoa, what are you doing? You have to go like up. Did you ever yell at him?
I think we had one argument about that, and he was like, you know what, now I'm going to just take 1,000 so you don't talk to me about this anymore.
So yes.
So now we have way too many, and it's annoying. But every now and again, like we were working out the other day, Colin and I want to get in better shape. We just posted the video of us working out. It just is what it is. I'm not going to edit a workout video. So like, it just depends on how I'm feeling. But if I'm at the beach, definitely going to give you an angle.
All right,
not just out here flat.
Yeah, good lighting is important.
I don't pose at all. I don't take a lot of it's not just usually me in the picture.
Do you have a good side?
I don't know. I don't think so.
You have great sides.
What do you think about it? What do you do? What do you
I tend to, first of all, I like to look ugly because I think it's funnier and I think people enjoy that. I don't always like to be the perfect, that's just not my brand because I'm not. And I also like to do this side and then a little on the angle. And then sometimes just to show off my arm, I'll be like,
That's good. That's honest.
Let me tell you, and Tori has actually done 5 curls and then taken a picture just because her muscle's more pronounced in that moment.
Yeah,
so
that's
so you do care. I mean, you say you don't
doing push-ups
by joking, but you do.
I do care. If I'm trying to take a real sexy picture and I want to be really looking good, I definitely care. But I often like to be really ugly because I think it's funny too.
But you do that so people can't make fun of you?
Yes.
Because you're also making fun of yourself?
Yes, I'm in on the joke in that way.
Right.
Absolutely. Yes.
I love that.
Do you guys think at this point, do we still need this? Don't we all kind of understand that when we see pictures that they're photoshopped?
Listen, buddy,
I don't know why I just said Bubby, but listen, let me
break it down.
I was going to say, listen, you'd think that it's common knowledge, right? But it's not.
You're right.
We have to do stories. We have to tell the audience. We have to put in quotes that it's a fake world. People don't understand. They see the Kardashians, they see other people, and they're like, wow, this is what they look like, and I'm so ugly in my own skin. And they don't understand that that's not what real life is. They need to be told that. And it sounds like idiotic in a way, but people don't understand that.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not completely understanding. I'll say as somebody who just had a kid, right afterwards, I will be on, I took a break from social media for like 3 months, but when I did get back on, I'm like, man, I know this mom had a kid a month after me.
Oh, the comeback.
Look how small
right.
she is. Or
yeah.
like, so that's something that just was real. And I know it's Instagram. I know she could be getting her angle, and happy for her to take whatever picture she wants, or any woman. But I had to just step back and realize, okay, my journey is my journey.
Right.
And that's a real thing that adults go through.
Yeah.
But you're also helping someone else with whatever your journey is. Someone was looking at your Instagram saying, oh, I'm just like Lindsay, because my wife was the same way, still bouncing back, and she didn't understand the bounce back. But you're helping someone. You don't have to be a Kardashian to help somebody. Every person helps somebody else along the way, as long as they're not, hey, what's up, have another kid and eat a Cheeto, to my wife. Like, what?
What?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, people are banana pancakes.
You need to get rid of that from your brain.
I think Elon's going to clear all that up. Ooh! Coming up on DBL, Heidi Klum tells us all about the new season of America's Got Talent. What's in store for season 17?
Sources are the FDA and the manufacturers of some of the most popular at-home antigen tests: Abbott's Binax Now, iHealth's Rapid Test, Quidel's QuickView, and Intrivo's On Go. You'll find the expiration date clearly printed on the packaging. An FDA spokesperson explains to us certain components in tests may degrade over time, which could mean they don't work as well. Product websites and instruction sheets will all tell you not to use a test after its expiration date. But here's the thing, depending on the test, that might not be the date on the package. The FDA spokesperson said in an email, quote, since stability testing necessarily takes time, the FDA works with manufacturers to extend the expiration date of their COVID-19 tests as additional supportive stability data becomes available. So a test could hit stores with a shelf life of, say, 8 months. If a company can prove to the FDA that it's reliable for longer, perhaps 12 months, that shelf life can be extended. That's what happened with iHealth and On Go tests. Look up the test's lot number to find the corresponding new expiration date online. A spokesperson for Abbott tells us the expiration date printed on their Binax Now tests applies. The earlier manufactured tests had components with varying use-by dates, and you want to make sure the whole kit is still effective. The QuickView test is among the most shelf-stable on the market, FDA authorized for 18 months. With these, stick to the printed expiration date and don't use the test after that. So we can verify you can use some at-home COVID-19 tests after their expiration dates, but you'll need to confirm the shelf life has been extended. So good news, this test is now good through June. Always make sure the test has been stored properly and you read instructions clearly.
Ever wonder what it's like to be on set of a Snoop Dogg music video? Well, Heidi Klum spilled all about that, as well as behind the scenes of America's Got Talent and Making the Cut. Check it out.
Tell me where or when I know it's gonna last forever.
I'm feeling it. You know our next guest, best for her beauty, her grace, and even a little lace. She's on all your favorite shows, from America's Got Talent to Making the Cut. Also, can I add Queen of Halloween? Please welcome Heidi Klum.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the long list of accomplishments that you have. I mean, I don't think I have a piece of paper or a scroll long enough, but now we can add rapping with Snoop Dogg to it. How did that all come about?
So I am currently in my 17th season of doing Germany's Next Top Model. Basically, it's Tyra's show. Here she did America's Next Top Model. I do the German version of that. And the network asked me if I would do the theme song that show and for that season, and I said yes, I would love to, but maybe I do it with someone that knows how to sing and one of my most favorite artists, and that is Snoop Dogg. So I just literally called him up And I asked him if he would do this with me. And so my husband wrote the song, and then Snoop rapped over it. And then I was thinking, well, what should I sing? And then, you know, I don't know. I'm always kind of singing in the shower. I'm singing in the car. And so I was like, you know, I really love, you know, Baby Jane by Rod Stewart. And maybe I do, you know, that hook. And my husband is like, okay, let's try it. So then, you know, I sang it, and then he shoved it in there, and that's how it all came about.
Amazing. It's a jam. It's a jam.
Heidi, I got a quick question. Speaking of trying things, if you're on set with Snoop Dogg, I mean, you're going to try something, right? I don't know if you partook, but I'm not even big on that. I definitely would have a, you know, smoke with Snoop Dogg.
Well, I mean, Snoop's smoke definitely has a zip code on its own, you know, when he comes in. It's gigantic. So I don't know if you have a choice, you know. I was really having the munchies that day, and maybe that explains it.
Contact high for sure.
I'm picking up what you're throwing down. All right, America's Got Talent has been on forever. I'm a huge fan, and now you're casting for season 17. So for people out there, if you were going to try out Heidi yourself, what would you do to guarantee a spot on that show?
I mean, they are so creative. It's crazy. You know, we have everyone from musician to magicians to comedians to ventriloquists, aerialists, dancers, you name it. Some, I don't even know what it is, what they're doing. They come onto the stage, and we had an apple the other day, and like a weird worm came out, and he was like worming around on the floor. We were like, what is happening? To me, the castings are always the most fun. We even did goat yoga the other day, or I had to do an eating competition. Thankfully, they were buzzing because I was already down 5 deviled eggs, and then the next day was sushi. I was like, please push the buzzer so it's over.
So your show, Making the Cut, got picked up for season 3. Congratulations.
Yippee!
Yes, but I want to know, how does Tim Gunn rank up against Howie and Simon in terms of the criticism?
Tim Gunn has been my TV husband for over 17 years. You know, it's the longest relationship I've ever been in. And he's not really a judge. He's more of a mentor. He also is kind of like, oh, good God heavens, I could never upon myself to actually, you know, because he doesn't even want to be in that position. I think it's also very hard for people to be brutally honest and kind of say what they think. And, you know, we never do this to be mean to anyone, but to kind of just push them always a little bit further, to light a little fire under their booty, to make them work harder and possibly get $1 million, you know? I mean, who else gives you $1 million? I mean, apart from America's Got Talent, I don't know any other show that gives such a gigantic price. Also, with having a line on Amazon fashion afterwards, you know, people can go immediately and buy the winning look every week, which is so fun. And yeah, I mean,
you make dreams come true, Heidi. You really do. We wish we could have you on longer. Hopefully next time. DBL Nation Chai Tea with Heidi is out now. Make sure to tune in to the new seasons of America's Got Talent and Making the Cut. We'll be right back. Thanks, Heidi.
Thanks, Heidi. Danke schön.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
So let's verify. Can wearing a mask help protect you from getting COVID-19, even if others aren't wearing one? Our sources are the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, 3M, a manufacturer of masks and medical supplies, and a study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. According to 3M, not all masks offer the same level of protection from COVID. The CDC says cloth masks provide the least protection. Well-fitting disposable surgical masks and KN95s offer more protection, and well-fitting N95s offer the highest level of protection for wearers and those around them. 3M says N95 masks, quote, can help protect you while you breathe in, unquote, while cloth or single-use surgical masks are, quote, more about helping protect those around you as you talk, cough, or sneeze, unquote. Studies have shown that a high-quality mask offers the wearer protection against COVID, even if others aren't wearing them. One European study, published in December of 2021, measured the risk of COVID-19 infection between 2 people, one infected and one not, based on the length of exposure and the type of mask worn. The study found that surgical masks provide some protection against infection, but that the N95 type masks offered the most protection. So we can verify, yes, wearing a high-quality mask can help protect you from getting COVID-19, even if others aren't wearing them. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
After the 9/11 attacks, the federal government created a national no-fly list. The list is maintained by the FBI's Terrorist Screening Center, and the Transportation Security Administration says it prevents people who are known or suspected terrorists from boarding a plane to or from the U.S. But what about unruly passengers? In 2021, the FAA said it received 6,000 reports about unruly behavior, and 70% of them were related to mask wearing. The spike in incidents led to calls to create a new no-fly list for unruly passengers. So let's verify. Is there a separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers? Our sources are the Federal Aviation Administration, the Transportation Security Administration, the Protection from Abusive Passengers Act, and Delta and United Airlines. Currently, there is no national no-fly list for unruly passengers. Airlines can respond to unruly passengers by banning them from future flights, and the FAA can issue fines for bad behavior. Last year, Delta said it banned more than 1,600 passengers, and in February, its CEO asked the U.S. Attorney's Office to add their names to a new national unruly passenger no-fly list. So far, that hasn't happened. So, no, there is no separate federal no-fly list for unruly passengers. The existing no-fly list is only for people who are known or suspected of being terrorists, although Congress is considering a bill that could create one for unruly passengers. Delta and United tell Verify they're open to restoring the flight privileges of some customers who are on their internal lists on a case-by-case basis, and only if they agree to follow instructions from crew members. Delta said especially egregious passengers will remain permanently banned. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
We all know how it goes. The seasons are changing, it's getting warmer, and you want some new spring and summer gear, but your closet is already packed with clothes. Well, we've got an app that's going to solve your problems, and it's called Vinted. Vinted is a secondhand, fashion-focused app where you can buy and sell pre-loved fashion. Pre-loved fashion, I like that. Take a look, or take a photo, write up a detailed description, set the price you want, and upload. There are no hidden selling fees, so the price you set is the price you're going to make. And if you're the buyer, you just search using filters like brand, color, or even condition. And when you finally find the dream piece, you pay through the app. The best part is to ensure your money is safe. The seller doesn't get paid until you receive the item, and make sure it's okay. And get this, Vinted is free to download. So if you don't wear it, sell it.
I love that.
I love consignment.
And you know what's even better? This is super eco-friendly, which is great because fast fashion's bad.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place.